Good morning. I hope everything's going great in your life today. I want to think with you today about one of the more intriguing stories in the Bible. It's in the book called Esther, and it's about Esther and her uncle Mordecai, who had raised her. He had adopted her after her parents had died. And by the providence of God, Esther becomes the queen in the Persian Empire of Xerxes. He had had a party that lasted for 6 months and had done a lot of drinking during that time. And one of his drunken states, he had asked for the queen, Vashti, to come and show herself to the people, and it seems to imply he's wanting her to show a whole lot more than she wanted to show. And so she refused to come. But the result was that he pushed her out as the queen. All of his wise men said that she was causing all of their wives to think that they didn't really have to do what their husband said. So he pushed her away, and in time became lonely, and the wise men suggested that he find a new queen, that he look for a virgin, and in the process of time, Esther, a Jewish girl whom he didn't realize was a Jew, became the queen. But during that same time, the guy right under King Xerxes was a man named Haman, who hated Mordecai and as a result hated Jews. Mordecai wouldn't bow down to him, and so he convinced the king to send out a message that all of the people could kill every Jew in the Persian Empire, and it would be all right. They could take everything that belonged to them, and when Mordecai was broken over that, word came that Mordecai was grieving and depressed, and Esther sends out the message, what's wrong? And he sends back this decree to show Esther and says, in essence, you need to do something about it. Well, Esther sends word to Mordecai, I just can't go into the king anytime I want. I have to be invited, and it's been some time now since I've been invited. And then Mordecai sends this message to Esther. How do you know? But what you've come to the throne, you've come to this place for this time, for such a time as this. How do you know but what God has brought you here for this very purpose? And she's touched by that and sends a plea back to Mordecai and to the people around him. Spend time in prayer. Pray and fast. And the ones around me, the ones that are serving me as the queen, we will spend the next 2 days praying to God and fasting before I make that trip before the king. And I will then go before the king to make that plea, and if I die, I die. I love that plea that he made. How do you know? But that you came to the throne for such a time as this. Now, in reality, Esther will eventually make that plea. She'll go through several things, and will point out that Haman is the one that has caused it all. And God, in that providence, actually shows the king how Mordecai had delivered him when some other people had tried to assassinate him, and that nothing had ever been done to help or to bless Mordecai. And so in God's providence, he has the king to have Haman to go out and put Mordecai on, to put the king's garments on him and lead him through the city, saying, this is what's done for one that the king wants to honor. Haman had built a huge gallows intending to hang Mordecai on it, but it ended up with him being hanged on it. But I want you to think about that lesson. How do you know but you came to this place for such a time as this? Opportunities arise in every one of our lives. And it may be that it's for that very opportunity that God brought us to that place. It may be that as a parent we're given an opportunity in helping our children make a decision or change their life in such a time as this. It may be as a neighbor, it may be as a friend, it may be as a member of a church. How do I know but that I've come to where I am and the opportunity I'm facing for such a time as this? God brings us into situations, into opportunities, because He longs for us to step up and to reach a heart and an attitude like Esther did. I'm going to pray about it, but then I'm going before Him, and if I die, I die. Let's have that heart. I'm going to stand and take advantage of the opportunity God brings me to so that I can make a difference in my world for my God and for the cause of my God.